So where do we begin? I want to talk about Radahn and Miquella, not the fight. That needs a separate video, but specifically about Miquella's story. This video is not about Godwyn and how he could have made a better consort like many fans were hoping for. I know very well the man is dead. Dead, 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 dead. He is more dead than the zombies in the lands between. Not DBZ dead or even Avengers dead. He is just dead. He didn't get sent to another dimension.
Now it's time to send you to the next dimension.
So no magic balls could wish him back, no time machine could bring him back, and no gauntlet to snap him back. So bringing Godwyn back will make no sense. We know Marika herself couldn't do it, and it would have cheapened the story if he was brought back. The whole reason Marika went full rage mode and shattered the Elden Ring is because her son permanently died. This is why we as the player go on this quest of collecting shattered pieces of the ring so that we can mend it and undo what Marika did. Bringing Godwyn back renders the very purpose of the game useless. But I'm also not making this video to tell you whether Radahn is a good or bad choice. This video is about how Miquella's story felt it was just shoehorned in. For example, bringing Radahn back is not a problem in itself, but it does need to make sense when considering the main game. Ask yourself this: how many people after completing the main game said to themselves, you know, I really want to know more about the relationship between Miquella and Radahn. These two with their tight brotherly bond make just the best dynamic duo. You know how many people said that? Zero. As a matter of fact, the whole idea of Miquella wanting a consort to fight for him came out of nowhere. It was Mog that wanted to become the consort to Miquella. That was his story, which we swiftly put an end to. There is no mention in the main game that even hints at the idea that Miquella wanted to tread the same path as his mother. Everything in this DLC was just shoehorned in. Instead of adding an ending to the DLC, they added an unsatisfactory flashback where Miquella was apparently asking Radahn to promise to become his consort if he fulfills his vow.
If we honor our part of the vow, promise me you'll be my consort.
So apparently there was a vow made. Is it referring to his ascension? No one knows. Where is this all coming from exactly? Well, it's being included right now in this cutscene and in the remembrance after beating Radahn. Look, I have no problem if you want to take the story in that direction, but the story of the DLC needs to fall in line with what makes sense in the main game. The story in the DLC causes a lot of problems for the main game. Take Mog, for example. Remember how you first found out from White Mask Vari how there is an entire cult that is loyal to Mog against the Golden Order? Remember joining their cause by taking out a fellow Tarnished and then collecting the blood of a maiden? Remember how Mog had a whole plan set in motion to build an entire dynasty by being Miquella's consort? Remember how Mog took advantage of the shattering and kidnapped Miquella?
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Well, with one line of dialogue in this DLC, we find out that Miquella was mind-controlling Mog the entire time. Now we are being told Miquella charmed Mog to use him to get to the Land of Shadow and start his ascension, then use Mog's body after we defeat him to resurrect Radahn, also after defeating him, so that Radahn could become his consort.
Okay.
How does Miquella's charm work exactly? How far does it reach? What happened to curing Millennia's scarlet rot? What happened to curing his own endless childhood body? What was the point of that if he was able to ascend anyway without curing himself? How long has he been controlling Mog? When Mog kidnapped Miquella, does that mean Miquella wanted Mog to kidnap him? Is Millennia's loyalty to Miquella genuine, or is she being mind-controlled? Is Radahn mind-controlled? If he was, then why did Miquella try to kill him? If he was invulnerable to Miquella's charm, then why didn't Miquella mind control him after Radahn lost control of his mind? Since Miquella was planning everything all along while using Mog, does that mean Mog and Millennia were working together? If they were, then why did Mog, who is controlled by Miquella, wait for Millennia to leave so that he could get a chance to kidnap Miquella, which is no longer a kidnapping, by the way, since we know he's being controlled? If they weren't working together, why didn't Millennia try had to search for Miquella? Does she know he was charming Mohg? What is happening? The Elden Ring fan community tried to answer these questions, but all the answers out there are based on pure speculation. I don't want the story to be spoon-fed to me. I like to have some room for speculation and some mystery, but this feels as if FromSoft just threw a pen and paper at us and told us, you do it, you write the story.
Write it or I'll break it off!
After defeating Radahn, I seriously started looking for just anything. Maybe I could interact with him for one line of dialogue just because FromSoft didn't bother giving us an ending scene to that DLC. Miquella didn't even have any dying words that could give us just something to go on. Every major boss says something when they die, unless they are just shells of their former selves like Radahn or Radahn in the main game. But Miquella just keeps hugging the guy as he goes down silently. The only thing we get is a flashback of Miquella repeating the same thing we heard him say at the beginning of the fight, making sure to add nothing of value that could answer any questions. Anyway, I'm more than happy to know what you think. Do you see inconsistencies? Did this DLC answer questions for you, or did they just bring up more questions? Let me know. For now, please subscribe. Until next time.